Hey everybody, this is Dream, and today we have a gigantic 11-game slate here for DraftKings on the NBA. So without that said, let's go and get into the injury report today. Before I do that, can you guys smash that like and subscribe button? Really helps the channel a lot. Anyhow, let's get into it. So for the Heat, Bam, Martin, and Denman are questionable. Hero and Butler are out. Then for the Hornets, Ball is out, Hayward is doubtful, and Smith Jr. is doubtful. For the Cavs, Allen is questionable. For the Bucks, Holiday is questionable and Allen is probable. For the 76ers, Harden is out. For the Magic, Carter Jr. is probable. Banchero is out and Cole Anthony is out. For the Bulls, Pat Williams and White are both questionable. For the Pacers, Duarte is out. For the Rockets, Porter Jr. is questionable. Tate is out and Fernando's out. For the Thunder, Mann is out and Basley is out. For the Grizzlies, Bane is out. For the Celtics, Smart is questionable and Brogdon is probable. For the Pelicans, Zion is questionable. For the Nuggets, Gordon is questionable, Jokic is out, and Murray is out. For the Suns, Cam Johnson's out and Chris Paul is questionable. For the Knicks, Robinson is doubtful. For the Pistons, Stewart and Cade Cunningham are both out. And for the Lakers, LeBron is questionable and Davis is probable. Just a massive amount of injuries today. Now, the Jimmy Butler news just hit just a minute ago, so I'm actually going to add in two players that I think is going to be valuable today. One being Duncan Robinson here at $3,200. He's probably going to get a lot more run in this game, I'm guessing, and he does have some upside when he gets a lot of run, especially if he starts. There's so many injuries on this team, and then Kyle Lowry, he's going to have to run the offense here at a higher rate. Now his price point is up, but he's still in a good spot here. And of course that makes, if Dedmon starts because Bam is out, then he'll be a guy to take a look at as well. So with that said, let's get into the players I do like today. We're going to start with Theo Maledon for Charlotte. Now, he's an interesting spot today, assuming that he comes off the bench and can play about 20 to 25 minutes. His price point is cheap enough. He's been playing good the last 3 games, and with all the guys out, he's probably going to get more minutes as a result. And so I do think he's a kind of a secondary Hail Mary option, but it's a good an option nonetheless. And then Bones Highland, he looks like he may end up starting today. We'll have to check back, though. If he gets a big quality chunk of minutes, he definitely has real good upside in this matchup with Murray out. Early in the season, he was playing some big minutes when Murray was out in a couple games, but we'll have to wait and see exactly what Denver plans to do there. But he looks like to be a great option on the slate. Emmanuel Quickly is kind of in a boom or bust situation due to his minutes being inconsistent because it's the Knicks, but he still has some upside in this matchup. Green for Houston, he might get even a bigger boost because Porter may be out, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. But he's a good play regardless. He's been playing extremely well this season, and I think he's a really good play on the slate against Indiana. Then we'll look at Killian Hayes, whose price continues to rise slowly, but he's starting now, and he's getting pretty good games. He's not really a super cheap value play, but he's still a value play nonetheless. He has some upside in this matchup. Then we'll look at Jalen Brunson here for the Knicks. He's been surprisingly consistent, and his price point is still pretty good. He's not my favorite play, but he's still a decent play on the slate. Then I've got two more expensive options here with Tyrese Halliburton. He looks like he's just in a great play here against Houston. He's been extremely good this season so far, and I look for him to continue here in this nice plus matchup. And then if you want to jump off him, you can go to Steph Curry, who's been absolutely dominating lately. And while he does have some inconsistency, he's been scoring in big bunches. And he seems like he's one of the few players that still playing close to almost 40 minutes in a lot of games, assuming the games stay close. So then we're going to take a look at Cam Reddish here for the Knicks against Golden State. He's been playing pretty good the last few games. He is very inconsistent, so do be aware. And the Knicks are really funky with their minutes, but if he can get a good complement of minutes, he'd be a good play on the slate. Jaden Ivey for Detroit looks like he's in a solid position here. His price point went way up the last game, but has come back down a little bit, and this is a nice matchup for him, especially with the injuries that they have on their team. Then Klay Thompson, obviously he's conditioned on minutes, but if he can get over 30 minutes, then he's somebody that's worth taking a look at because he has big boom potential. Then we're looking at Eric Gordon here for Houston. Now, I do like him, even though he is somewhat inconsistent this season. He's kind of a type of guy that can score he'll either score like 15 fantasy points or go 30. But obviously, in this matchup, we do like him to get up above around 30 because he'll be at plenty of minutes, and especially if some more guys get ruled out for their team. Then we'll look at Bojan Bogdanovic. Now, he's in the back-to-back, so do keep that in mind. But he's been really consistent so far this season, and even though his price point has come up a little bit, he's still in a good spot, and he's been playing really well, and this is a nice plus matchup for him. Then Franz Wagner for Orlando looks like he's in a pretty good spot here. Now, I don't love running guys against the Bulls usually, but he's been playing really well, and his upside here with injuries is worth taking a look at. And then Buddy Hield for Indiana. He's also in a great spot. He's been playing pretty well this season. He's had some big games, and I look for him to continue that here. He is the de facto second option for Indiana. Then we'll look at Draymond Green here for Golden State. Now, he has some upside because of his price. He is a little bit inconsistent minutes-wise and stuff like that. And he's not somebody that usually gets a bunch of actual regular points, but he has some upside in this matchup. P.J. Washington's another guy I think is interesting today, along with Kelly Oubre, to be honest. Both of them are very inconsistent, though, and so, they can have big games or little games and not much in between. So you do have to be aware of that when you roster these guys, but overall, they both have some upside at their price points. So I do think that they're both viable today. And then, finally, DeAndre Ayton for Phoenix. He should have some upside here because he's going to have to play more minutes in this game against Utah. Typically, his minutes have been all over the place this season, as you can tell. But he should be more focal point, especially if Chris Paul is out. Not only that, but he's going to have to play because Utah has a lot of bigs, and so they're not going to go small like some teams do. And so that will keep Ayton on the floor more. Then we'll look at DeAndre Jordan for Denver. He's an interesting spot here if he starts. He started last game and he got 19 fantasy points almost. I expect him to be able to do something similar to that again, and so I think he's a viable play on the slate. And then Miles Turner, finally, for Indiana. Now, his price keeps coming up, but he's been playing pretty good lately. He is inconsistent, but he is somebody that I do like on this particular slate, and so I think he's a viable play here against Houston. Overall, I think it's a solid slate. There's going to be a lot of injury news that are going to come back later. We also want to check out about Al Horford. With Chris Paul, definitely a guy that we want to check out. We have to make sure we know what the Golden State Warriors are going to do before lock, hopefully. Unfortunately, with their game being late, a lot of times we don't. And obviously, same with the Lakers, knowing what they're going to have in that game, it's going to make a difference as well. If Davis or LeBron are out, then that would give Westbrook a boost, and even Reeves and Brown and Schroeder and stuff. So overall, there's a lot to take a look at here. Make sure to check out Discord. We have the NBA news thing here where we get information set up each day, so you might want to jump in here. You'll get this quick. I have several different Twitter accounts that go right into here. And as you see, we just got news that Bam is closer to doubtful today. So that would be a good boost for Dedmon. So with that said, make sure to check out the Discord. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below. And have a nice day, guys.